then you've been through a lot.
Mm.
I mean, multiple sclerosis.
Yep.
Right. And I was making a joke, not a joke about multiple sclerosis, but I'm like, what does it mean? Do you have multiple of these things?
Yes.
Or is that what it is?
Yes.
Why isn't it just called sclerosis?
Okay, so the sclerosis, and it could be completely wrong, but essentially it means multiple scars. And so with multiple sclerosis, you have lesions in your nervous system. So it could be in your brain, your spine, anywhere where you've got a nerve. The disease will break down the myelin sheath, which is like the outer coating of that nerve, and essentially calcifies it. So when they look at it in an MRI, you see these like white dots all through your nervous system. And so it's like multiple scars. And so you can't, if you have one, just, one lesion, they will rarely kind of diagnose that. But if you've got multiple, then.
Which it usually is.
Yes. Yeah.
How old were you when you found out?
It's like 26, 27.
And what happened? Do you have symptoms? What kind of symptoms do you have?
So 18 months prior to me getting diagnosed, my legs went numb for like 3 or 4 months. It was really weird. Like if cold water touched my legs, it felt burning hot. And if hot water touched my legs, it felt ice cold. And
that's scary.
Yeah, it was really weird. And I was like, oh, I must have just like pinched a nerve or done something.
In both legs.
Yeah. I was just a 20-something-year-old, just like, whatever.
I'm fine.
Yeah, exactly. And so then 18 months later, I went blind in my right eye. And I was like, all right, this is not normal.
Not good.
And I went to the doctor. I went to the eye doctor because if you can't see, you go to the eye doctor.
Yeah.
And he knew what it was, but he couldn't diagnose it because he's not a neurologist. I didn't have an MRI. And he's like, you need to go to the emergency room, get an MRI. Went through the whole process.
Were you scared?
Yeah, because when I went to the emergency room, they were like, we think you may have had an aneurysm or a stroke or something. Yeah. And at that point, I was freaking out. I had a 3-week-old baby. And I was like, what the hell's going on? Like, what is this? And after a couple weeks of testing and, whatever, they determined it was multiple sclerosis. And then I did what any, defiant 20-something-year-old goes to being like, I'm going to get a second opinion.
I thought you were going to say, I'm going to get a beer.
No. When I got a second opinion, same thing. They were like, nope, this is multiple sclerosis. So.
Do you have it for life then, right?
Yes. It's an autoimmune disease that they say that you can't cure.
Right.
But I don't know. I've been really lucky. I don't have a super aggressive form of it. I have what's called relapsing remitting, and I haven't had like a flare up or a relapse.
Can you die from it?
You can. Yes, sort of. Like you can die from complications as a result of it. So over time, multiple sclerosis will, erode your nerves further and further. And so it can affect mobility. It can affect speech. It can affect, how you swallow, how you breathe.
But you haven't seen a lot of that.
No.
Are you on medications?
I was for a while, and then I stopped taking them because I'm an idiot.
But how long has that been?
Like 7 years. And
you still have no symptoms?
Very few.
Well, maybe that's honestly, I'm not a doctor, but maybe it's good where you were on these things and then you got off and you've been fine for 7 years. So if you ever have to go back, they'd be more effective.
Exactly. That's kind of my thought. And then my second part of it was,
we're not doctors here. Don't listen to us.
Like, how long can I go between these episodes off medication? I just was trying to get a sense of things. I do a lot of supplementing. I do a ton of, tweaking, and like I work with this like nutritionist guy and some,
Are you really healthy?
No, but I try to be.
What supplements do you take?
Man, I take.
Do you take like omegas and fish oils?
Yeah, exactly. A lot of that, a lot of like NAD,
peptide at all?
Peptides.
Do peptides really help?
Fuck yes, they do. Oh
With
my
pain
God.
and aches?
Oh yeah. Depends which one you're still taking, because there's like 30 different types, and they're always coming out with
BCP
new one.
137 or something? I forgot the name.
I've done that one. I've done like CJC. I've done like Ipamolin.
Pills? Or
shots?
Shots. Because I'm going to start taking peptide injections to see if that could help with some of the pain I have.
Absolutely can. 100%.
Like you've noticed you overwhelm.
Yeah, and I exercise a lot, and I do a lot of jujitsu, and like my recovery time is so like nominal. It's like nothing.
Wow.
Yeah, it's really cool.
So that's the new. It's like thiacin.
Thymus.
Is that what it is?
There was thymus, and I took thymus at one point. I haven't taken it in a long time.
Yeah. Again, go to a doctor, talk to people
Yeah.
about this. Don't listen to us. But like peptides are sort of the thing now
Yeah.
that people are talking about.